Omar Abidi, Principal of Oz Realty Estate Agents. Today's quick tip is for all those vendors out there who are currently on the market and their property hasn't sold, and they're in a position where their agent's asking them to drop the price. Before you do, you really need to stop and think before you give them the okay. The reason being is what you'll need to do is you need to find out, has the agent done everything in their power and exhausted every bit of effort they have to ascertain the highest possible price or the price that you're actually asking. And a good way to do that is go back through what they actually promised. Go back through and look at things in a more meticulous detail. How's the negotiation gone? What have they done during the negotiation phase? Have they invited buyers into your home that are qualified? Have you got the right buyers through the home? Has the marketing campaign been good? There are so many factors to consider before you just say, yes, let's drop our price. And it happens too often in this market where agents will take the easy option and ask the vendor to drop price after a week. And look, it really comes back down to the interview process from the outset when you actually chose the agent. For example, did the agent price the property according to what your feeling was on price, or did they give you a complete comparable market analysis to justify and position your property where it would most likely sell? If they've gone down the path of option one, just taken your price and said to you something along the lines of what most real estate agents say, let's try your price for a week, and if it doesn't happen, we'll reduce it after the first week. I mean, you shouldn't be choosing an agent just on those lines from the outset. But if you have and you are in a position where you're now stuck and you've reached a point where they're asking you to drop the price, make sure you go back through and make sure they've exhausted every effort. If they haven't, you might need to take the reins and basically say, well, hold on, let's try this before we touch price. Because once you start reducing price, a negative connotation becomes fixed to the property in the open marketplace. And I've said this on many of my videos, that once a buyer sees the opportunity or sees the vendor going backwards in price, they assume that there's further drops to be made. And that puts the position of power back into the purchaser's hands, and that's something you don't want to happen, especially in a slower market. So be mindful when an agent asks you to drop your price. Be mindful before you actually say, or be mindful of what they've actually done from start to finish before you say yes. Of course, sometimes there is a changing market and you will need to adjust price to fuel the market's interest again, but it's something that you should look at as a last resort, and too often agents will look at that as the first option to take. I'm Omar Abidi. I hope that helps today. It's a really important matter, and it could cost you a lot of money if you don't make the right decision at the right time. Have a lovely day. Cheers.